Hey y'all, you may have noticed that I made a video about playing on major 7 and minor 7 chords using triadic construction, so I'm going to make one now about how the same process is applied slightly differently using the 7 modes of the melodic minor scale, which are also very common, especially in my favorite kind of jazz tunes, like the tunes from the 60s, like Wayne Shorter's Blue Note albums. They rely heavily on these melodic minor modes, and there's a little trick that is not only convenient and easy to use, but I actually only discovered it after learning enough of these tunes to realize that this is how they solo, and this is how the composers and people that played these tunes, this is how they wrote them using this triadic compositional approach, which is a little different than what a lot of people learn in school. I remember them talking a lot about scales and arpeggios, but I don't remember them ever teaching us that melodic construction is triadic and really has nothing to do with practicing your arpeggios. So first thing I'll start off with here is an E altered chord. This is related to what some people call the Jimi Hendrix chord. And then if you add this C note on top, the sharp 5, that note happens to be the one that melodies are constructed off of on this chord. So it's an E7 altered chord. There's a C triad kind of a sound here. There's a little trick in how to fill in all the spaces. I'll show you what it is here. So it starts off like you're actually just playing the C major scale, the first 5 notes of it. So I'm using a C triad here, and I'm connecting it with the diatonic upper neighbors of the F melodic minor scale, which is the prescribed scale for this chord. And then the fifth of the C triad here is modified by flat 6 and flat 7. So you got, sounds like you're playing the major scale, and that part sounds like you're playing the minor scale. So that's how I think of it. It's kind of a half and half. So the root and the third of the triad are modified by a whole step above. I'm sorry, the third is modified by a half step above. There it is. And then when you get to the fifth, it's got flat 6 and flat 7. So I just have this kind of one lick that I use to, because it has all the information that I need to compose a line off of. It's first of all, it's what note is the triad built off of, and it's the method of figuring it out is this. Like if we're playing an E7 altered chord, that is from the key actually of F melodic minor. So what you do is determine the key, which is F, and then you go up a fifth from there on an altered chord, and that's how you know where the triad is. And a lot of times you don't even have longer than a couple of beats to play on the chord, so it's good to be able to get right to the center of it right away. So let's look at some of the other modes here and see how they stack up. Maybe I'll put it in context with something. Let's take this Wayne Shorter tune Iris, which starts off with a few chords that come from the major scale, and then he goes right into this part where there's 3 different melodic minor modes from 3 different keys that are placed right next to each other. So in order to be able to improvise melodically on it, you have to understand what the center of those chords is. So, but starting from the beginning, you got F minor, and to me this is like I want to play E flat major over this. So I use that triad, and then the next chord is E major, which to me I think of a B major scale for that. B major triad, I should be more specific. And then an F major 7 chord. F sharp major 7 chord, which would be C sharp major. Then it goes right into this part with all these melodic minor modes all jammed together. So what you have is B flat altered, which is going to give us a G flat triad to phrase with, and then there's a D flat 7 sharp 11 chord, which is from the key of A flat melodic minor, which means I go to the 5th of that, and I have E flat to play on that chord. It makes sense because you can see the triad right on top. But once again, you know, we're going to fill in the spaces with the diatonic upper neighbors. You can hear a little major scale action there. And then a little minor scale action too on the bottom. So, and then the next chord is A flat major 7 sharp 5, which is from the key of F melodic minor, which means that I use the C triad. It's really not that hard to figure out, because if you look at the top of these chords, you'll see that in fact they do have triads on top of them, so it's that triad that you use. So again, it's melodic minor, so we use the melodic minor connecting tones. Makes it real easy though, because you can just jump to any position of a C chord shape that you like and work off of it. So anyway, just to play through that little section of the tune, let's see. Here it goes. So using this approach, you don't have to know any licks. In fact, this is better than knowing licks, in my opinion, because you are actually improvising and composing in real time, which is kind of what you're supposed to be doing. And this is just a way to break everything down to its essence and get at its harmonic center, the triad, and phrase with it. Thanks for watching Free Guitar Lessons Pro.